Jai Hind Defence Aspirants, I Vivek Pandey welcome you again in Target Defence Forces. NDA 148 was one of the finest opportunities for female candidates क्योंकि अभी तक NDA के लिए सिर्फ मेल कैंडिडेट्स एलिजिबल थे, फीमेल कैंडिडेट्स एलिजिबल नहीं थी. But from 148 course of NDA, female candidates were also allowed to write the examination and to be the part of Indian Armed Forces as an officer through NDA entry. Today we have Yashika along with us, who had made us proud once again by being one of those female candidates who had got recommended for NDA 148. इस वीडियो को आप एंड तक ज़रूर देखें क्योंकि याशिका ने अपना टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स शेयर किए हैं, एज वेल एज शी हैड शेयर्ड हर strategy, what type of strategy she followed to clear the written examination followed by the SSB, as well as she had shared her SSB experience of 5 days. So must watch the video till the end. Before starting the video, let me give you one more good news that Sachin and Karthik had also got recommended. They both were one of the promising candidates of Target Defence Forces family. They were regular to the lecturates, regular to the news, regular to the PPNDD sessions, regular to the Zoom sessions, followed by multiple mock interviews. And finally, they proved their metals. Sachin to kal hi recommend hua hai for Navy CW entry. He was a serving candidate. He was a serving sailor currently, as well as Karthik. Karthik was preparing for ND examination for past 1 year or 2 years. He got first time conference out, followed by the screen out. Then he joined Target Defence Forces daily practice platform. By being regular, he also got recommended back to back in 2 entries. They both are undergoing medicals currently, so soon they will also be sharing their experiences. Results of CDS and NDA 149 are out. ACC 125 की SSB चल रही हैं, 126 की SSB भी कुछ मंथ में आ जाएंगी. SSC टैग की डेट्स भी आ चुकी हैं SSB की. So my dear friends, if you are one of those serious candidates who are looking for the platform where you can practice rigorously till your SSB, so you are at the right place. If you want to get recommended by practicing hard on daily basis, just provide your details in the given WhatsApp number, rest I'll take care of. Now here comes the experience of Yashika. Must watch the video till the end.
Hello everyone, my name is Yashika and I recently got recommended from 4 AFSB Varanasi for the NDA 148th course, and this is the first batch of girls for which I got recommended. And so if I tell you about how I landed the place where I am today, then I would like to tell you that I always wanted to join defense since my childhood. But eventually, due to this male-centric society, I was made to realize that defense services were only for boys only. And then when I even binged the Google and surfed the online articles, I saw that most of the entries were open for boys only. Like you might be knowing that NDA was also for boys only till date. And I still remember in October or in September or October, I don't remember the exact date, but in September or October, when this case of entry of girls in NDA was in Supreme Court, a course was started for the preparation of NDA on YouTube. It was a free course, and fortunately, it was completely free at that time. Like I was completely free from JEE and all other competitive exams and like KVPY and all those exams. I was free from them because all of them were over till that time. So I started watching videos from there, and you won't even believe, history, the subject which I hated the most, is now the subject I love to give my free time to. And then after some weeks, the judgment came allowing girls to appear for the exam. And fortunately, after the preparation of 1 month to 45 days, I cleared the NDA written exam. Though I was not expecting that I can get through this, but then I was fortunate enough to clear that. So talking about my preparation for SSB, like how I prepared and what all things helped me for getting recommended. So let me tell you honestly that I cleared written NDA and I was literally having no idea about how the things will work. What is SSB? Literally I was not knowing the full form of SSB also. I was like, knowing the basic things, that it is a interview process of 5 days or so. But fortunately, I was having my cousin Aditya, who is currently enrolled in Bit Velour. He has already appeared in SSB, and literally he was the only one providing me every sort of material, be it PPT, PDF, pictures to practice PPDT, and then various apps, YouTube channels, websites to practice and learn and to know the process of the SSB. So from there I started my preparation, and then surfed various YouTube channels, and before and 3 days before my SSB, I got to know about TDF family, and so I was keen to practice for the PPDT sessions, like for getting screened in for PPDT sessions and for lecturate also. So a number of was flashing on the YouTube channel. So and the headline was that if you want to practice, then you can you can text this number on WhatsApp. So I texted the number, and then those 3 days, I consider that I'm fortunate enough that I got to know about TDF family, though 3 days prior, but then too it helped me a lot. I got to know where I stand and what are the areas on which I can improve still, because I was having time. 3 days are enough for me to practice. So I practiced PPDT sessions, and sir was very very supportive and helpful. Like he took a mock interview type, something like that, and it was very helpful. It told me which are the areas on which I can improve. Telling you about my SSB experience, like the 5 days that I lived in were there in Varanasi. Let me tell you frankly, those 5 days were the most beautiful days of my life. I was not there to compete for the recommendation. Instead, I lived that life. And really, if you are the one who is going for SSB, then I'll suggest you that live those moments, because they are the best one of your life. Starting from the very first day, the screening process was going on, and it was smooth. But then in the PPDT session and the discussion part, we all know that what fish market is made in the discussion, especially in the when the group is of 15 members. We were having a group of 15 members, so it was a fish market situation. But you should know how to handle the situations. That's what they are looking for, that you should handle the situations which are sometimes unexpected or out of control type situations. So it was going smooth, and 72 girls got screened in the screening process. And then talking about other psych tests, then they too were good, I will say. And especially for TAT stories, I'd like to give one tip, that you should not have prior narratives in your mind, that you are going to just learning those narratives and going to vomit them out in your TAT sessions. So just be original, because when 12 stories you have to write just one after another, then believe me, you can't bluff your personality, to be honest. Then the second and the third day were for devoted to the GTO sessions, and believe me, I was the only one in the group of 9 girls who was not even knowing that what all GTO tasks were going to happen on that day. Like, I was completely unaware about command task. I'm honestly telling, I was completely unaware about command task, and then I thought that group snake race was going to happen, but that didn't happen. So the original self was, I was able to show my original self. And then one thing that is the one thing that is fixed is that SSB is not about how you have coached yourself for the past 1 month or past 3 months, but it's about your way of life, how you have lived your life till now. That is what SSB is. like in group task, if since your childhood, if you are not a person who is cooperative enough with the society, with others, then believe me, coaching yourself, giving yourself coaching for the past 1 month or 2 months won't help you that much. So change your lifestyle in that way that SSB is not very hard to clear for you. So overall, my GTO session was good enough, like I was satisfied enough. And fourth day, my interview was scheduled for the fourth day, and interview is something which everyone is conscious about and really very worried about. But let me tell you, interview is not something that you should be worried about. And I still remember that when we were waiting in the waiting area for our interview call, so one of the staff member, I think he was, so he came and he saw our faces and then said, "Are you all worried about interview?" So we were like, yes, somewhat anxious about interview or something like that. So he was like, just cool down and think that interviewer is your friend, because हमने प्रोसेस देखा हुआ है. He was literally saying this, that हमने प्रोसेस देखा हुआ है एंड हमने देखा है जो बच्चे जो कैंडिडेट्स बहुत फ्रैंकली बात करते हैं इंटरव्यूअर से एंड दे आर कूल इनफ टू हैंडल द इंटरव्यू, वो रिकमेंड हो जाते हैं. सो डोंट टेक टेंशन एंड कंसिडर इंटरव्यूअर टू बी योर फ्रेंड. एंड बिलीव मी, that was a piece of advice worth considering. You should not be recommendation oriented in your interview. Like when I was asked in my interview that what are your immediate goals, so I was very clear about my immediate goals. I told him that okay, now after going from here, I'm going to have a sleep for around 1-2 hours, and then in the evening we'll come down for playing volleyball and basketball. So the interviewer was laughing. He was literally laughing at that time, because when I got to know, when we were in the room, we were discussing about how everyone's interview went well. So others, when they were asked the same question, they were like, we replied that our immediate goals is to get recommended in SSB and to attend the NDAs, to attend the batch of NDA. This was their reply, and then I thought that my reply was somewhat very different from others. So be original and be very you should not be like you are there only for recommendation. You are there to enjoy the process. Enjoy the process instead of worrying about the result. And our group, so we were allotted the Sukhoi room. So our room was the only one whose lights were always on till 1 a.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning. When the lights were supposed to be on 10:30, or we were not allowed to be awake after 10:30 or 11:30 p.m. But we were the only one whose the room lights of which were always open. And in my conference also, the first question that the board of the president asked me was, the first question in my conference that was asked by the president of the board was, why are you looking so sad? Because we were awake till 3 a.m. on that day, on that night instead, and we were like, can sleep at any moment. After getting 2 or 3 hours sleep, we were like drained off of energy. So his first question was, why are you looking so sad? I was like, no sir, I'm not sad or something like that. So he said, you're something low on energy or something like that. I was like, yes sir, actually we were enjoying our last day in SSB with our friends, and so we only got to sleep for 2 to 3 hours, and that's why I'm somewhat low on energy. So my conference also lasted for about, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes, and he asked me some of the basic questions like why should we recommend you for NDA, and will you be able to bear the physical training that is there in NDA, and then some general questions like what you had in your breakfast and how was your stay, any suggestions. These basic questions were asked. So overall, more than my recommendation, I enjoyed the process of these 5 days. They were like amazing and worth living days. So the ultimate tip that I would like to give you guys who are there for whose SSB is scheduled for in the coming months or years. So first of all, enjoy the process instead of getting worried about the result, about the recommendation. Just enjoy the process, enjoy those 5 days, and then be yourself instead of faking yourself from the personalities that your coaching centers taught you to be. Just be yourself, because that is what they ultimately want. And third tip, be responsible for your actions instead of showing them the qualities, the OLQs. I have seen girls who are overreactive in GTO sessions, in all other sessions, who were trying to showcase the OLQs, which by their actions very very weirdly. So instead of that, be original, be calm and composed in all of your task, and in that way you will be able to perform your best. You'll be able to give your best, and that's what you are required to do. Give your best and leave the rest. Thank you.